how's it going? I am so pumped. Little Bear does not feel the same way. uh, oh, she cracks me up. How's the weekend going, guys? So I have been dying to cook this apple pecan bacon cornbread and white bean chili with you guys. Aw, thanks, Erica. I tried to clean it for you. I'm trying to fix my screen here real quick. Maybe. It's fine, we're fine. What are you guys cooking tonight? Oh, how's Bodie, Kim? Thanks, Erica. All right, well, so I finished chopping and doing everything, so it would be pretty streamlined and easy. I say that, so I hope. Let me see if I can put the recipe up for you. Check this out. Okay, so you guys can screenshot this. Off with that, and then we will get into this white bean chicken chili. So I'm just trying to leave. I pretty much just wanted the cornbread, and then you have to come up with something that goes with it. Okay. Oh no. So what do you do when he's not feeling well? Extra treats, Kim. That's kind of like my go-to. Okay, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna get this cornbread going, and then I kind of have some of the chili stuff going already. But first things first is it's very simple. 5 pieces of bacon on your sheet, and then I have, I think, oh, I remeasured everything out to start, but it's 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I use organic brown sugar, and 4 tablespoons of pecans in here, and just a little bit of chili powder. That's optional, just gives it kind of like a little bit of a kick. I know, Little Bear does always deserve extra treats, Thomas. Thomas, you have to show us how to make kimchi. I did make egg rolls the other day, and they were so good. Okay, so you're gonna take your 5 pieces of bacon, and then you just take this mixture of brown sugar, pecans, and a little bit of chili powder if you like a little bit of a kick. You put it on the bacon like so, and we're gonna throw it in the oven at 350, and then eventually we're gonna take all this out and chop it when it's done, and then we're gonna throw it in with the rest of the cornbread. I'm telling you, you will be a hit at Thanksgiving. If you don't have to do the bacon if you're not a meat eater. I think it makes it taste really good. So this is what your sheet pan will look like. 5 pieces of bacon, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 4 tablespoons of pecans, and just a couple. Gary, what is happening? Basically just a little splash of chili powder for a little kick. So I'm putting that in at 350. Kind of just depends on the bacon. and you can flip it if you want to, halfway. But it's also going to go in the oven with the cornbread, so I just do about 10 to 15 minutes of that, and then that's going to go in with the cornbread mixture. And let's get on to the rest of the cornbread. So while you put your bacon in there, you're going to chop an apple. And make sure since I pre-chopped everything. Okay, so I have my apple already chopped. I have my 2 tablespoons of butter in the skillet, so I'm going to put the apple in there with 2 tablespoons of butter. And then what makes it really good, I like Honeycrisp. Organic Honeycrisp apples are hands down my favorite. And then with that, you are going to grab your organic maple syrup. I need my Canadian friends to send me some maple syrup. Any Canadian friends out there? So then, again, we're doing apple pecan bacon cornbread with honey butter, and we have our bacon and pecans, brown sugar in there. Then I have 1 Honeycrisp apple, 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. Gonna make it nice and sweet. There's also, if anyone's interested in the gluten-free version of the cornbread, I have that as well. It's just basically using, you'll use yogurt, Greek yogurt, and cornmeal instead of, I'm going to be doing a mixture of, it says pastry flour. If you don't have pastry flour, I do work out. It's no big deal. You can use regular, but I do kind of like the texture of the pastry flour. It's basically just a little more sifted. It's a little fluffier. Aaron, oh my gosh, I would send you a sample in a second. Diana, crew. Gary, you're having a crawfish boil? Is that for real? Gary, I mean, I hope. You guys, seriously, this cornbread, please make it at Thanksgiving. It's so ridiculously good. I just was craving like apples when fall started, and then I was like, ooh, apple pecan, because I made apple pecan cinnamon rolls. And then I was just like, well, okay, bacon, why not bacon, you know? So there's that. I have tried it with brie as well, brie cheese in there, really good. Oh, Aaron, you aren't. Aaron, I need some real Canadian syrup. I feel like I'm just cheating the syrup right now. Much larger. Who's having Hot Pockets? What'd you guys all do today? I actually get to stay and chat, you know? Okay, so, again, we've got our bacon and pecans and brown sugar in the oven. We have our butter, our apple, and our maple syrup in there. And then I'm going to get the main part of your cornbread going. So in here, I have a cup of, you can do, I would suggest whole wheat pastry flour, but if you just have regular flour, I just have organic white pastry flour in here. 1 cup of that. Like I said, it's okay if you use the other stuff. And then a cup of finely ground cornmeal. And then you're going to do 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So that's what I have in here now. Everything I just said. Oh, thanks, Dana. Just wait. Oh, you're with Grumpy and Valentina. Tell them hello. Oh, Erica, are you in the car driving, or you're heading back now? Yard work and football. Who's playing, Kim? My team had a rough start to this year, so I have been a fair weather friend, to be honest. All right, so now we're going to add our wet ingredients to the basis of this cornbread. So we're going to add, you guys who know this, it took a while to pre-sort all of this. So we're going to add 1 egg, a 1/2 cup of butter, which is 1 stick. And then, so it calls for 3/4 cup buttermilk, and I feel like I never, ever just, any recipe that calls for buttermilk, the rest of it in my kitchen always goes bad. So, a good buttermilk hack. I have 3/4 cup of regular milk in here, and if you add 1 tablespoon of vinegar to that, it will turn into buttermilk. So that is always my go-to. I never just buy buttermilk, to be honest, because it just ends up going to waste. So I always do the buttermilk hack, and that just ends up making the texture of the batter a little bit fluffier. So you know, it's the deal behind that. So we're gonna whisk this stuff together, and then we add the good stuff. We're just gonna chop the bacon and add the apples and the maple syrup. So there. And then we're gonna add in our buttermilk. You guys are, Julie, I can put the recipe back up if you need. Patriots. Oh, I forgot. Pro football. Kim, I like it. I feel like I need to get into pro football. I feel like that would be fun. How's Tom Brady's team doing this year? I know, Erica. I just feel like I don't use enough, I can't find enough things to use buttermilk in that really make it worth my while, if that makes sense. Okay, so I've added the butter, the buttermilk, the egg. Again, there's some fabulous, you can basically make this whole recipe gluten-free with cornmeal and yogurt as your dairy as well. So there's lots of options. Oh yeah, Julie, no worries. Well, next time I'm just gonna send out the recipe list before, but I knew that I've been just dying to do this, and this is what I had planned for dinner tonight, so that's why I ended up with that. So these apples are finally getting a little bit golden. I also, guys, have a little bit of the chili recipe started, but I just was excited about it. Okay, gang. Once we get this cornbread in, I'll discuss the chili. I know, Thomas, right? And then if you do for a recipe, what are you gonna do with the rest of your buttermilk? And it's usually like if you want really, really fluffy pancakes, buttermilk is totally the trick. And it's like 3 tablespoons of buttermilk. So you might as well just pour milk in a cup and add a little vinegar. Julie, what is happening? Oh, see, Willie, there you go. Willie already knew the buttermilk trick with pancakes. Totally makes them more fluffy. Julie's same. I love food in general. But I do also have, like, you guys know, my whole trying not to use preservatives and things like that has made me feel a lot better. And a big thing, and we'll talk about it when we're doing the chili, is shredding your own cheese. And I know not everyone has time to shred cheese, first world problem, but there is, they put an anti-caking agent in pre-shredded cheese, and I'm trying to stay away from stuff like that. And turns out block cheese is so much tastier. It's just so good. Aaron uses 1 cup milk and vinegar and sit for 5 minutes. How much vinegar do you use, Aaron? My go-to is a tablespoon per cup, but like I put a, Thomas, of course you do. And like every time you say you're drinking C4, it like makes me cringe. In a good way, I get it. You're probably just immune. I'd worry if we took them out of your diet. Oh, you have your tree up? Julie, I totally want my tree up. Thomas, I told you, I was trying to find some YouTube safe Christmas music, but that's like just even more challenging to find. All right, guys, so these apples are nice and golden now, so you just wait a second until they look a little bit golden with that maple syrup and that butter, and then your whole house is already smelling good. So this is going to be a go-to Thanksgiving thing, guys. And if the people are coming to your house, makes your house smell like you're baking. And then if you get really excited and you want me to do apple pecan cinnamon rolls with maple icing, ooh, it's that time of year. I promise we do healthy recipes too. You do I love real cheese. I do like real cheese, Jules. Real trees. Oh, yeah, that was always my my tradition with my dad, Jules, was going to get a real tree the day after Thanksgiving. It always made my heart so happy, and they smell so good. I tried the thing of, I got to the point where I'm like, ooh, maybe I can get a tree that I can replant, you know, goes back around sort of thing. The ones that have bulbs, good grief, they're like this big. It wasn't really, so I just figure like, you know, burning the tree and then letting that go back to the earth has to be good. Oh, Erica, I know the apples, they smell so good right now. I know, Erin, it's like, it's tough too, like, and you guys, when you're taking care of your family and doing all of that stuff, it's hard to sit there and want to shred blocks of cheese. I get that. So my rule is, if I have extra time, I make it happen. And, you know, if life gets crazy, try to balance it out. So it's a happy balance, right? All right, gang. So I'm going to take this bacon out, and then I'm going to immediately set my oven to 425. It was at 350. So for the cornbread going back in. All right, so this is what your bacon is going to look like when it comes out of the oven with those pecans and brown sugar. And let me tell you, between the apples and now the bacon, it smells like $1 million in here. I'm going to chop them over here, guys. So sorry I'll miss them for a second. We're going to let them cool for a second, and then we're going to throw that in the batter and throw it in the oven. And then we'll start the chili, and I'll show you how to make honey butter, because even if you're not, or you don't have time to make your cornbread from scratch, this honey butter, literally you can put on anything and it tastes good. It's so good. I know, Christmas tree bonfires are so good. Julie, I live for pine scented anything. That's so funny. So, okay, here's the trivia question for you guys. If you ever take your car to the car wash, back, like when I was younger, the car wash that my dad took his car to, they would ask you what scent do you want sprayed in the car wash, like afterwards. And my dad like always chose cherry. I always wanted pina colada smell. Julie, it sounds like you would want pine cone smell, but what would be your post car wash smell in the car? Oh, Erin, that's a good idea with essential oil. Oh, Julie, I have not. Oh my gosh, Julie, what's in spicy honey butter? That sounds fantastic. Julie, I like your style. I mean, this crew, I mean, I know from the all the fabulous recipes you guys gifted me that I'm surrounded by wonderful cooks, so that I'm quite thankful for. All right, I'm gonna chop this bacon, and then we're gonna go black ice. What does black ice smell like? Oh, Diana says peach. Thomas says fresh cut. I feel like, oh my gosh, Thomas, that's so cliche. That's hilarious. Thomas says gasoline. Or fresh cut grass, Thomas. Already? Oh my goodness. Julie, she said those are the little black trees that hang in the mirror. Chili oil with, oh my gosh, you guys, I love this. Julie, did you say what the like what spice is it that's mixed in with it? With like, is it cayenne? Is it like what do you add for the spicy piece? All right, so you're gonna see me put all this bacon and pecans and that fabulous, oh, this smells so good, on this plate. I know my camera angles here, like I'm gonna have to like figure this out, but we're not there yet. All right, guys, so I'm gonna chop this bacon and these pecans and then throw it in the cornbread. We already have the apples and the maple syrup in there. I mean, truly with these ingredients, it really can't taste bad unless you have like an allergy to these ingredients, in which case I'm sorry for you. Have you guys started thinking about what you're going to be making for Thanksgiving? Do tell. What is black ice? That's a little Christmas tree, a black little Christmas tree, and it's scented. Is that what I'm missing out on? All right, guys. So I have all this bacon and the pecans and the brown sugar all chopped. And it is going into... Erica, are you feeling 100%, by the way? I know you get your staples out tomorrow. 3 cheers for Erica getting her staples out, crew. Sure you're ready for that, girl. All right, so I've already sprayed my pan with organic coconut oil. If you really want to go lights out here, you could grease it with butter, but I feel like we already have the super good ingredients in here, and the honey butter is going to overpower anything anyway. So that's why I just did a quick spray of the organic coconut oil. Plus you can use that for anything. You have watermelon. Gary, what do you have watermelon for? Dinner? Or right now? You chopping watermelons for us? All right, so we got the cornbread in. You can also make these into corn muffins. Big hit. Also, if you're in a rush and you just want it to cook faster. Just a little bit of a trick there. It happens. Not gonna lie. There are plenty of times I want things to cook faster. And there's a little hack I do to make the top of this cornbread as well a little more. Ooh, yeah, same. Avocado oil and coconut oil, they are my favorites as well. They also have a higher cooking temp. A lot of times I use ghee instead of butter, which ghee is just clarified butter, so it has a higher heat point. So this is what our cornbread looks like going in. So it's going in at 425. I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes. We're going to see how long it's going to take. Oops. Anyone else have a kitchen timer that tries to reset the the oven? You guys, I'm so excited that you're here cooking tonight. Thank you guys for taking the time to hang out. Oh, his tree smell is watermelon. Okay, Gary. Gary, I just think cows, pastures. I would have, thought you would I don't know. What do farmers like? Apple? Although I just listened to this fabulous, I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast about regenerative farming. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm obsessed with this guy already. I can't wait to hear the rest of it. Thanksgiving, pulled pork, mac and cheese, spicy rice cake, street food from Korea, and pie. Thomas, that sounds incredible. Thomas, I love the combo, the pulled pork and the mac and cheese. Good for you. Oh. Well, Erica, don't worry if you need to wait one more day. You know that, right? Especially since you're getting your staples out. Be careful to sweat with the staples in your head because you don't want it to get infected, my girl. Emma. She says I should get... Okay, where do I get a car diffuser? Emma, send me the link. Santal. That sounds... I'm such a smell person. Please, send me everything. This time of year, I love, the cookie... I like the sweet smells, the cookie smells. But I have to say, someone gifted me lavender and lemongrass. And when I'm cleaning, oh my gosh. It just makes everything smell clean. So I do that a lot. But I do like the, fresh baked cookies, caramel, that sort of. Okay, Emma, I'm totally gonna screenshot this because I'm gonna try it out. I would like my car to smell fabulous at all times. Maybe Little Bear's little fur will start to smell like that. She comes in smelling like Santal. I know, Erica. It's one more day. I don't want you to get your staples infected, and then we've all been there. We have horror stories about wisdom teeth and stuff for not being able to sit. I get it. What do you put on your seats twice a year, Kim? Oh, Willie, Adams polishes leather. Really? You guys, I'm gonna have to screenshot all of these things and try them out. I'm a big, that's why Instagram and TikTok, they get me sometimes. Listen to Thomas. I know, Thomas teases sometimes, but he's right on here, Erica, and I know it's hard, and it's so much easier said than done, and you'd have to be locking me in a room for all of this, so I get it. All right, so we're going to work on our chili while our cornbread's cooking. I already started the chicken, so you could bake this chicken. For chili, I just boil it because it's super easy. And if you want your boiled chicken to actually taste good and have some health benefits, I would boil it in a couple cups of organic bone broth or chicken broth, and then you could just add a little bit of seasoning accordingly. I only did 1 cup of broth and the rest water for this because it's just going to be going into my creamy chili that is going to add all the flavor anyway. So I did start that a while ago so that could finish. Have you guys seen this hack? The very best way in the whole world to shred chicken after you bake it or boil it. If you have a stand mixer, this is like genie magic. You put the paddle attachment on it and put your chicken in there and it shreds it in like 2 seconds. If you don't, fork is fine. It's just, I saw the hack somewhere and I was like, no way. And I put my chicken in there and I was like, my life has changed. And it's like just like a fine shred, so it's great for like shredded buffalo chicken and everything like that. Leather conditioner, I have to get in on this. I'm kind of excited. Willie says knee sleeve scent. Oh geez, Willie, I don't even know if I get in my car with knee sleeve scent after a while, That's when you have to wash them. All right. You do, Kim? Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay, so first things first with this white bean chili. See, that's so cool. You guys are such great cooks. So guys, while our cornbread's cooking, we'll finish up our honey butter here in a second. Actually, flip this out so we can use it for our honey butter and be simple and to the point. But we're going to start working on our chili. So, again, you can boil it in bone broth, chicken broth, or you can just go water and a little bit of vinegar if you're doing it for something that's the other flavor is going to overtake it. Oh, Rhea, how's it going? So, I did just a little bit of coconut oil in here and chopped an onion. That's been sitting in there. It's a lower temperature caramelizing for a while. I like to let things caramelize. I just feel like it gives it a little bit extra flavor. You don't necessarily have to do that. And with the chili being able to sit and simmer for a while, you'll have that. So that has been in there for some time, that coconut oil and that onion, like I said, so you kind of get like that deep caramelized look on your onion. And then I'm going to add my 4 teaspoons of minced garlic, or you can roast a fresh garlic, put it in there as well. I just did organic minced. I do 4 teaspoons of that. I chopped up 1 poblano pepper. So I'm gonna throw that's my chopped poblano pepper in there. I actually am a big fan of poblano peppers. I took the My Biome gut test. So it basically tells you what's good for your gut microbiome. And bell peppers are on my absolute do not eat list. So I've been subbing poblano peppers. Not sure if that's allowed, but I've been doing it. And my stomach seems fine from it. So, yay, Erica, thank you. Aria, she's on her rowing program. Well, when you're done, you'll have to tell us what the workout is. She was doing like all arms, all legs. It was so good. Shredding claws, Thomas. I feel like that would be good for pork, though, because pork's like a thicker, more aggressive. 300 for time, Thomas. That sounds awful. I use like a, yep, Gary, for sure. All right, guys, so I have my caramelized onion in there, my poblano pepper. I'm going to add my 4 teaspoons of organic minced garlic. And then with that, in here I have 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin. Cumin can be super strong if you're not used to the flavor. That's why I do 1.5. Some people do more than that. I do a 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. I feel the same way about paprika, especially smoked paprika. It can be pretty strong. And then I'm a big fan of like sneaking in ingredients that aren't really gonna change the flavor much, but have health benefits. So I snuck in a 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder, and just a little bit of salt and pepper. So we're going to throw that in there now with the onion and the poblano. And again, we're talking about smells. I know we've been on the sweet smell track, but the way that this starts to make the onions and the peppers smell, you know it's gonna be good chili with all of these flavors. And I feel like it goes by the wayside sometimes when you're adding these extra spices to chili, because sometimes you think, oh my gosh, it's just, especially if you do like a tomato-based chili, it'll be overwhelmed by other flavors, but those flavors add a lot. Oh, Aria, see, I've always wondered how you can do those super long rows with tight hammies. I'm very impressed that you're able to do that. 8,800 meters? Wow. Ski 20 cals. Thomas, for what? Ooh, I love chipotle peppers too. I like adobo peppers too. They are strong. Is that for? Oh yes, Thomas, the workout we did the other day. Okay, gang, so once you have the seasoning in there with the pepper and the onion, we're just gonna let that cook for a little bit until it's super fragrant, and then we're going to add in I like this Butcher's bone broth, and they have a chicken broth, is awesome. Like, it's in the cold section of Publix, but it's just a super high quality. Honestly, sometimes I'll even like drizzle it on my salads and things like that because it's such a high protein. It's so high in protein, and also just all the other benefits of bone broth are out there. But this brand, it's called Roly Roti Butcher's bone broth. It is unbelievable, and it has a ton of other benefits. So again, I try to sneak in some things. It's a little bit more expensive, but it is so worth it. Like, again, like, we take collagen supplements and all these things, but this bone broth is amazing. Oh, yes, Thomas. I gotcha. Kim, do it with the vest like we did. It was really good. Okay, gang, so once your onions and peppers and your spices are all mixing together and become fragrant, then you're going to be able to add in that 3 cups of organic bone broth. Like I said, you can do chicken or beef. I kind of like the little extra flavor of the beef bone broth personally. I also like the texture of it. Like I said, sometimes I just like drizzle a little on salads and things like that just to get the extra benefits. Oh yeah, that's smart. It definitely is about the long game. I was thinking about it the other day, like, sometimes you have to be smart about how it's going to make you feel over time. 100%. Thank you for that reminder. Oh, Kim, I put bone broth in Little Bear's food every morning and night, and now she eats it like a champ. So this is actually 3 cups. That's why I didn't pour it in anything. So I'm going to add my bone broth. Ooh, and just the color alone with the spices and all this good stuff. So this, I really like this chili recipe because it has a lot of sneaky but very healthy ingredients in it. And despite the fact that I do sneak in the, oh yes, Kim, I do sneak in the cheeses, the cream cheese and the shredded cheese, but oh my goodness, it's good. Thomas, oh my gosh, this might be the cure-all for you. Go get that bone broth immediately. Have some sips. I get, like, from an immune standpoint and everything else, oh my gosh, and a gut standpoint, Thomas, this could be your go-to. I love that you guys bring the workouts to this as well. I love talking fitness while we do this. All right, so now we're going to let this simmer a little bit. Let all those flavors get together, and I'm going to show you the oh so magical. Actually, I think I need to sneak my jalapeno in there as well. Yes. Also, you can add your jalapeno to that. Jalapeno is totally optional to the chicken chili. Make sure you seed it, and don't touch your eyes after you do. I have made that mistake before, and good grief. I'm like, why in the world? This thing isn't even hot. And then I'm like, it's hot. It's so hot. Yay, Diana, which bone broth do you use? No, Thomas. We need to look up online how to make bone broth, because I mean they do. Actually, the regenerative agriculture cattle man I was listening to talks about how they make bone broth. I'm not actually sure the process. Julie, it sounds like a lot of work. That's why I don't mind paying the extra $1 or $2 for the super high quality grade one. Wow. Thomas, I bet you'd have the same benefits. Just because, I mean, the collagen and everything in those. So, all right, crew, I am going to now, I'm going to drain this really quickly. And we're going to magically shred our chicken in the KitchenAid. And again, if you don't, you can be like Thomas and get the claws. Thomas, where do you get these claws? I also wonder if they're good for like big things like pulled pork. We do make a lot of pork and such. So just boiled some chicken. I used broth and water and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. If I was just gonna shred the chicken alone, I would have probably done all bone broth and seasoned it a little bit more, but since it's going into our magic seasoned chili recipe, there is one side note from the KitchenAid chicken shredding business. Every now and then, if you don't pin the chicken just right, you might shoot it across the kitchen. So if you see flying chicken breasts, you know what's happening. Just bones. Oh my gosh. Aria, good luck. Thank you for stopping by. We're wishing you more luck on your row workout. Really, Kim? You guys are gonna have to do a video on that. Ah, yeah, Diana, that's awesome. All right, guys. Here's to seeing if. Oh, that doesn't seem super pinned. Here goes nothing. All right. Pro tip number 2, make sure your bowl is screwed in. Kim, was almost the entire bowl. That got my heart rate up just a little bit. I also, once I see that the chicken has started to shred, I turn the speed up on that. But it just shreds it so nice and perfectly. Haley! Haley, I'm doing my first cooking. We're doing white chicken chili and bacon, apple pecan bacon cornbread and honey butter. Yes, although I just about shot an entire bowl of chicken across my house. You know, opportunity cost. Yeah, Kim, that was real. Jules, I can't believe so many of you know how to make bone broth. I'm so impressed. I guess I just wasn't really interested in the whole like boiling bones piece of it, but I guess if you have them. Oh. Yeah, no, it was pretty close. Gary, that's funny. All right, Gary, just let me show you how magical the KitchenAid is. And I feel like KitchenAids are gifts that people like let sit in their house for 7 years and then eventually they like make cookies with it. But see how perfectly shredded that chicken is? And a lot of times, a lot of weeks for meal prep, I will boil like 6 chicken breasts and then throw them in there. And you can literally put anything on this, any condiment that pleases you, from barbecue sauce, Chick-fil-A sauce, mustard, you know, anything goes good on shredded chicken. It really does. Thank you. All right, so we've got our chicken done. We have our broth going, and now we are going to add our room temperature cream cheese. A lot of recipes. Paul, how's it going? I know, Kim, I literally almost lost the bowl of shredded chicken to the cabinets. It was not screwed in. That's the pro tip of the night. Screw your bowl into your KitchenAid. Okay, so a lot of the white chicken chili recipes, the way I like to make mine creamy, I'm not using, like heavy whipping cream or anything like that. I'm just going with, it's like a Greenwise organic cream cheese. Sometimes if you don't like it as creamy, you can use half the block. You don't have to use the whole block, but do make sure that it's room temperature, because otherwise whisking it in, it'll kind of just stay chunky. So this has been sitting out for maybe like 30-ish minutes, just trying to bring that. I'd like to put it by everything that's cooking. So we'll start to whisk that in there. And then other super secret ingredients in this that make it tasty. So it's just really hard to find organic white beans. If someone knows where to find them, let me know. I just used a low sodium cannelli bean, but I've been on a mission to try to find organic white beans, and it's really hard to find them. Thomas, that's epic. Paul, how was your Sunday? So, like I was saying, secret ingredient, organic white beans was not the secret ingredient, but they make it really good. Salsa verde. Oh, hi, little bear. You see how she knows it's her dinner time, so she's begging for dinner. So once we whisk that cream cheese in, little organic salsa verde, This is another thing I want to work on eventually too. Kim, I know Sundays are like my, get back to life days, but look at this, gang. Kim gave me this and it's my very favorite. It's a little wine glass with anchors on it. I know, Kim. Honestly, I feel like I should have just made that a staple as well. What am I thinking? But that's my very favorite. That's from Kim. I use it every weekend. Most weekends. Jules. Oh. Is it? Oh my gosh. Thomas, I'm just like a big fan of your Thanksgiving menu. All right, guys. So like I said, slowly gonna start whisking this cream cheese in, and this is perfect timing because our cornbread is almost finished. So once I whisk that cream cheese in, guys, and it starts to break up a little bit better, I'm gonna add that salsa verde, 1 cup of organic cheddar cheese that I did actually slice off of a block. I took the time beforehand. So a cup of cheddar cheese, a half a cup of salsa verde, and a can of, I did the low sodium cannelli beans. Like I said, if someone can find organic white beans, please let me know. I'd be on a quest. And in the meantime, then we're gonna add the chicken as well. The chicken we almost lost to the cabinets. Goodness gracious. So, again, this is the easiest thing you will ever make, and you can put it on so many things. And apparently you guys put the spicy version on pizza and things like that. Like my crew, you guys are just so good. So I'm just going to take 2 tablespoons. This is just any kind of organic butter. You can use whatever you feel so inclined to. Oh, the other thing I love on this white bean chili is whole Greek yogurt. Oh my gosh, it is so underrated. It's so good. Okay, so you just take your 2 tablespoons like that. If you have a skillet, I try not to use the microwave a ton because I do think it does change the makeup of things, but I'm also about convenience sometimes too, so we're going to microwave this. But you can also put it in a skillet, and then you're just going to put a 1/4, I just fill it to just above a 1/4 cup of honey, depending on how much you need. I know in the recipe I have, it's 2 tablespoons of butter and a half a cup of honey. I don't know that I need that much, so I just did between a 1/4 and a half. Just depends how much honey butter you are planning on using, and it's already a little bit sweeter because of the brown sugar and the bacon and the maple apples. So we have that. Oh, guys, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna heat this honey butter real quick. I'm telling you, if you bring this to Thanksgiving, you will have a fan club. And like I said, I'm fairly confident I made the chili just so that I could have the cornbread. Okay, so my cream cheese is whisked in. I'm adding the half cup of salsa verde, can of low sodium cannelli beans. Again, if anyone finds organic white beans, let me know. I would be so pleased. And then we're gonna, while we do that, then we are gonna mix in 1 cup, 1 cup of cheddar cheese. And I'm just gonna leave a little bit extra for sprinkling on top. Like I said, if you have the time, take the time to shred it, gang. It's just that one extra little preservative, so we try to take it out where we can. But I get it. Life can be busy. Alright, so turn that off. I'm going to add the chicken to this, gang. Let it simmer for a minute while we put that honey butter on the cornbread. And then this is ready to rock and roll. Oh, you guys, it has been so much fun cooking dinner with you tonight. This has been awesome. So we did our apple pecan bacon cornbread. That's about to come out right now. Our honey butter's finished. I use Stonyfield organic whole milk yogurt to put on the chili. There's something about the texture. I absolutely love that texture balance. All right, gang, ready to see some magical stuff? Oh, Thomas, where do you guys usually? Thomas, don't hold back. Do 2 cups. Oh, but Thomas, it's like with this cornbread, like I said, because it's a little bit sweeter, it doesn't need it. But when I do, like, if I'm in a rush or something and I do some kind of box cornbread or something, which I try not to do that often because cornbread's really simple if you have cornmeal and or yogurt. So this is what it comes out looking like. So it was in there for 20 minutes. Absolutely perfect. So it's super simple to the point. And then I'm just going to take that honey butter. You guys were like 2 seconds away, and then we're completely done. How cool is that? All right, so this is how your honey butter will turn out. It's just fabulous. Oh my gosh, Willie, that sounds so good. Chicken, bacon, jalapeno ranch pizza. Yes. Okay, so guys, simple to the point. I usually just drizzle it all over top, and then I leave just a little bit extra for those who like their cornbread extra sweet. And it's just gonna make a nice little glaze on top. I'm telling you, bring this to Thanksgiving. People will lose their minds. And the best part is, the cornbread is a little bit, oh, I don't know where you guys went. Cracked. Oh, I know what happened. You guys know what I did, didn't you? I forgot to plug in my camera. So there, here I am, right as I was telling you about, like, okay, so because the cornbread just comes out perfect and it just a little bit of crack to that honey butter, it just seeps right in the cracks. It is fabulous. See, honey butter in the cracks. Although that kind of sounds funny. And then you keep some extra on the side. So while that's cooling, also, I know my camera died, you know, at least I have the computer plugged in. Tater, thank you. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's spoon out some of this chili. And see, the timing of it, if you do actually pre-prep the meal by chopping everything, it comes out in perfect timeline together. Because usually when I do that, it doesn't always come out in the perfect timeline. So hooray for us. All right, so this chili is, like I said, it's so good. And the bone broth, the peppers, you got tons of veggies in here. Even have some turmeric for good measure. And you guys, if you have not tried whole milk Greek yogurt in your chili, just the texture of it, it's better than sour cream. It is so, so good. Then I sprinkle a little bit extra cheddar. So ta-da. Oh, actually, we're gonna have to tilt you down for this. There we go. And then give it a moment. You're gonna take that cornbread. I mean, wait till you see the apples and the bacon in there. Little Bear's gonna thank me for the bit of this that just fell on the floor, but then you put your apple pecan cornbread in there. Lights out. And I'm not just saying that, it is that. I challenge you to bring this to Thanksgiving. And if you guys need me to post the gluten-free versions or the bacon-free versions, there's a little extra honey butter on there. So that is your apple pecan bacon cornbread with honey butter. Meow. Oh my gosh. So you guys That's your apple pecan bacon cornbread with honey butter. It's actually steaming. Good gracious. And as you well saw, ta-da! That's your chili. And that's that. That is your white bean chicken chili and cornbread. Oh my goodness, gang. Gary, it's true. Thomas, thank you. Thomas, I think, I was never like a big fan of it either, Thomas, for some reason. I don't know. Like, I just didn't necessarily do it for me. Wonder if this is like 100,000 degrees. Like, I feel like I need to like at least taste test it, right? And if I burn all my taste buds off. Oh my gosh. It's so good. And with the cornbread, good grief. Oh my Lanta. Hey guys, we just got to have dinner together. Oh my goodness. Well guys, tonight you just have to try it and let me know how it goes. Well, maybe it's a big thing, Thomas. Maybe it is we're going to have to keep asking that question. Who liked sour cream? Maybe no one. All right, guys. Well, that was so much fun. You guys are just the best conversationalists. We got to talk some fitness and food and hang out. And you guys got to come sit in the kitchen. You want to know something hilarious? That refrigerator back there doesn't work. We have like a vintage one in the corner that we've been using for whatever reason. I can't remember. The thing that cools the refrigerator, it's like a lemon in that version of the LG, unfortunately. Bit the dust. Aw, that's awesome. Well, crew, thanks again. Cheezo Pete's, Thomas, Gary, Willie, Kim. You guys, this was just so much fun hanging out. Erica, Diana, Julie, the other Aria's out there rowing somewhere. Jules. You guys are amazing. Thank you for taking the time to make our white bean chicken chili and our apple pecan bacon cornbread. Let me know if you try it. This was so much fun. Oh, Thomas, thank you for that. All right, guys. Well, have an awesome evening. Hope you guys get nice and recovered tonight and are ready to get back into some fitness next week. Hope you guys have an awesome night. See you tomorrow.